think this through. Call me all night long. Try to give you hints that are hard to see.
Hi, I'm Kel, and this is my channel, Kel's Lampwork Glass. Hi subscribers, new subscribers, and people who just popped in to watch. If you could like, comment, share and subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified when new videos are released, I would be grateful, because it helps keep my little channel going and growing. Welcome. Today we are going to make a necklace with Softflex's kit Star-Crossed Lovers. So as you can see, I have started to make one side of the necklace. So we've got a wire wrapped beaded chain with a bit of chain on the side. So I made the first start of the one side, apart from the one bead at the bottom and the chain, and the rest of the chain up the other side. There's also going to be a bead that's going to go here. It's going to be wire wrapped between the links. And then at the bottom of the chain, we are going to have a flower and a ceramic barrel and a on the bottom of it a bead cap, because of the size of the hole. So that's going to dangle off the bottom. So that's basically the pattern of it. So that's the way the necklace is going to go. So that's all going to be interconnected. So let's start by making the rest of the chain. So I am using 0.5mm wire, which is, let me think, that is 24 gauge wire. I had to think then. I had to think what gauge wire that was. So I'm going to pull that out, but before we actually make the dangle, I'm going to cut my chain. So I'm using some fine chain, and I'm going to cut 2.5 inches of chain. So I'm just going to line my chain out. First of all, I'm going to make sure the end of this chain is clear of any little bits on the end of the chain, because this chain has a thing about keeping bits on the end of it. There we go. Cramping me hand doing that. So there we go. We've got another 2.5 inches of chain. Make sure that matches up. Yes, it does. So I'm going to put that to the side for now, because we need it for later. And actually, I told you a porky, we're not actually going to put the barrel bead on the bottom. I remembered. We're actually going to put a dangle on the bottom. I remembered I put something aside for the bottom, and I've got the barrel bead on the side for another project. We're actually going to put on the bottom this dangle. We're gonna put a tassel on the bottom. But what we could always do, we could put the barrel bead on top of the tassel, which I think is going to look really nice because it'll pull some red in to go with the flower. So I think that's what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to pull that in. So we're going to put the flower, we're going to attach, we're going to do the tassel, and we're going to attach the barrel bead on top of the tassel and attach the tassel to the flower. So that's what I'm going to do. So now we've cut that chain, we are going to get this out. We're going to put on, I'm going to put the red bead on first, because surprisingly enough, it's actually easier to do it this way. Oh, red bead. Then a little spacer bead, so it's like a little seed bead. Then another bead. These are the ones that came on the strand. Then I'm going to bend the wire. Then I'm going to use my 6-step pliers. I'm going to use the small step on my 6-step pliers. I'm going to go up and over, turn my pliers and bring them round. Then I'm going to hook on my chain that I've already made. It'll hook on. I have to open my wire a bit. I think it's the way I'm trying to hook it on. Just try and open that a bit. There we go. Then I'm going to grab my bent nose pliers and close that and wrap it down. Now I'm going to do a bit of a chunky-ish wrap because this bead for some reason has a bit of a large hole. Some of these beads do. Some of them are smaller holes, some of them are larger holes. So I'm not doing the neatest of wraps. Then I'm going to pull my beads up. I'm going to put 4 fingers here. I'm going to cut my wire off. Put my wire out the way for a moment. Bend my wire over my pliers. Now I'm going to use my large step on my pliers. Go up and over. Turn my pliers over. Turn it over in my pliers. Now I'm going to get my chain and get the end loop in my chain and slide the last link of my chain on the wire. Slide it on, and I'm going to get my bent chain nose pliers and I'm going to hold the loop, and I'm going to hold onto the chain with my hand as well, so I don't get the chain in the wrapping. And then I'm going to wrap down. Which can be a bit awkward to do, because you're trying to sort of hold on to something with your hands and hold on to your pliers as well. Now I'm going to cut off the excess wire. And I'm going to push that wire in. So we don't get any pokey bits. And then I'm just going to straighten up a loop. So now we're just going to do the other 3 beads that are connected. Oh, wrong set of beads. We need black mat, which I think is that one. Yep. So again, straighten out your wire with your nylon jaw pliers. And I'm ringing the bell with my wire. This time I'm going to put on the matte black one first, so I can make my loop, and then I can take my wire off my reel and then attach it to the loop. Then I'm going to put on my little seed bead. With these being clear seed beads, the holes can be a little hard to find. You just got to spin them round in your hands till the wire finds the hole. There you go. Found the hole. And again, bend the wire over your pliers, and you want the small loop up and over on the right side preferably, because I find it hard, well, on the left side, because I find it hard to wrap on the right side. I don't know if anyone else is like that. If they have the wire on the wrong side, they find it hard to wrap. Alright, just cut the wire off. Make sure there's no pokey bits. Straighten up your wire. 4 fingers. Cut my wire off. Bend over the top of my pliers. Now I want my little loop, because you only want your next step in your bail making pliers, right, if you're on your ends. There you go. Now you want to add it to your loop. I swear my hair gets everywhere. Put it through the loop. Hold it with your bent nose pliers. And wrap it down towards the bead. And then cut it off. Do you know, when I was preparing these, I made a very accidental mistake. And don't ever do that, what I've just done. Not hold your wire and let it ping off, because that is so dangerous. I accidentally let go of it. It's like a really bad thing to never hold your wire. Yeah, I made a really stupid mistake when I was preparing this strand. I had hold of one of the beads, and I was cutting off one of my wires, and I cut one of my loops of all things. How stupid is that? I actually cut one of my loops. Like, I couldn't believe I'd done it. So again, straighten your wire. So like, even people that have been making jewellery as long as I have still cut their loops. So again, put your bead on. I'm putting on a faceted bead. Then I'm putting on my little clear bead. So yeah, it's like, it's still really easy to do stuff like that, even after doing this for many years. Alright, again, bend your wire. Up and over your small one on your wires. Then get your bent nose pliers. Wrap your loop. And cut your wire. And hold on to your wire like I've just done. And tuck your end in. And again, bring all your beads down to the end. 4 fingers. Cut your wire off. Bend over your pliers. Again, up and over your small loop. and turn your pliers and over your small loop again, through your other loop and latch on. Hook it, hold with your bent nose pliers and wrap down towards your bead. And then cut off your wire. And tuck your ends in. Now, last ones. Put my red one on first. And my little seed bead. Now these seed beads actually came on the strand with these beads. With these ones. So bend over your wire. Now, because this is your top bead, you want to go over your second step on your bell making pliers. Hold with your bent nose pliers. That's one way to knock your loop out of shape. So cut that off and start again. Right, so as I was saying, up over your second step and round. Hold with your bent nose pliers and very carefully wrap your loop. And then cut off your end. If you can't hold on to it, point it down towards your mats. Like I've just done. Right, so now I'm just going to need to knock that very last. There we go. So now 4 fingers. Bend it over the bent nose pliers. Alright, small loop again. And hook it through. Hook it through the last loop. I've got this terrible thing about stacking my tools and always burying the tool that I need. So now I'm going to wrap down to the bead. Unwrap that a bit and then rewrap it. And then again, I'm going to point this down towards the mat as I cut it off, because it's a very short wire. And tuck that in. So now we've got our chain again. So next we are going to do the end bit here. We're going to do this bit. This bit is 3 inches long. So I'm going to measure 3 inches, get our scissors and cut the fabric. So this cord actually came with your Star-Crossed Lovers kit. So I've got some cord ends. So what you're going to do is you are going to get some 6mm cord ends, hold them on the end, get your, if I can find them, your square nose pliers or duckbill pliers, whatever you want to call them, and without catching your thumb like I've just done, so now I'm going to have to open this. Hold it on the end, make sure it's square. I had absolutely no problems doing this when I was putting them on, when I was putting the other ones on. Get them in your pliers and squeeze down. You just got to make sure you get it just right, so not to stick it into your thumb like I've just done. So grab it in your pliers, get your cord end, get your cord and press it over your cord so it attaches. So you've got a bit of cord that length attached to 2 pieces and to a piece of cord. So now you need your pliers. On one end you need a 4mm jump ring to attach to your chain, and put it through the ribbon end and close it up. And make sure it's properly closed. I'm using 1 mil thick, and this is a 4 mil. And then I've got a 10 mil, 1 mil thick, to go on the other end. For part of the clasp. And just make sure it's fully closed. Right, so that's 2 chains done. So let's put them out the way for now. Alright, so let's get some more wire. We are going to need those chains in a second. But what we're going to do is we're going to put the wire through here, and we're going to put the loops on either side. So let's bend and get 1 chain. Oh, we better put the loop on first, don't we? So you want your larger loop, so your second step, up, over, turn, and through. Now, what you want to do is you want to get your loop, feed it through, and you've got to try and do this without getting your chain caught in it. So you've got this on. Now you need to wrap down and hold your chain out the way as you're wrapping. And that means both the chain that's dangling as well as your wire wrap chain. You don't want too many wraps. And you want to try and cut the wire at the back. So now you've got something that looks like this. So what you'll have is you'll have a chain that comes down like that with the dangle off here. So now what we're going to do is move the wire out. We're going to do 4 fingers again. We're going to cut the wire off. Again, we're going to bend the wire over our pliers. We're going to do the large loop again. And we're going to get the chain. I'm going to make sure it goes through the loop. Without getting snagged on the other chain. Now, if you get your your bent nose pliers, hold the other chain out the way, and your dangling chain, and then wrap down towards the bead. And make sure you cut your wire at the back. And make sure you keep your chains out the way when you go to cut your wire. And then just push your wire in so it doesn't snag on nothing. So we've got something that looks like this. So now we're going to wire wrap the dangle that's going to go here. But what we're going to have is we're going to have a jump ring that goes here and then attaches the dangle here. Okay, so let's put this up above us. Move my tape measure out the way. So let's get this one. And let's get some more wire. I know, a lot of wire to use. So, I'm going to feed on our little rose. And again, we're going to bend the wire. But with this one, we're actually going to secure it at the back. So we're going to use the little wrap, the first step, and wrap it under. Hold it with the bent nose pliers and wrap it. And then cut it off. And push the wire down. Then with this one, we're actually going to pull out more wire than you think you'd actually need, because I am doing probably more wire than you need. So what I'm doing is I'm doing 4, 8, 12, 16 fingers. 16 fingers and a bit. Alright, which is way more wire than I'm probably ever going to need. Alright, you probably only need about 8 fingers. So I do apologise right now if I hit the camera. So I'm going to bend over the pliers. Preferably the other way than I actually did. I'll just change the status of my loops after. I hate loops. Go up and round and turn the pliers. Then grab with my pliers and wrap. Sorry, slightly out of camera frame. Then once I've wrapped, I'm going to go on the back. I'm going to turn, and turn, and then wrap round. And I've only wrapped around once, so all you've got is like a little bit of a zigzag on the back. You can even exaggerate the zigzag a little more with your pliers. Alright, so as you can see, I've got like loads of wire left. Alright, so I did say like total exaggeration of the amount of wire you need. So cut the wire off. So as I said, I'll tell you how many fingers worth of wire that actually is. If you give me a second. That is 4, 8. That's 12. So you only needed 4 more fingers worth of wire. So I'm just gonna make sure I've got everything tucked in. This is to stop my beads spinning, so it stays at the front. So as you can see, my loops are both front facing. So one here. Alright, so that's that one. So next we are going to do this tassel. So as you can see, I made a bit of a wire wrap loop on a length of wire. Alright, I've got a length of chain, and I'm going to cut another length of chain as well, because I want 9 on here. At the moment I've got 7 a length of chain. I've got 1 bead that's wire wrapped. I'm going to wire wrap another one as well with you, and I tell you a porky, I want 10 because I've got another dangle here. So this is actually what the dangles look like when they're not on the thing. So we're going to put that one on as well. So I'm going to show you how we cut the chain when it's not actually done by the tape measure. So what you do is put it onto a head pin or a bit of wire. For head pins, because they can't fall off the end. That's why I prefer them, because I can't lose me chain that way. Then I'm going to put the end of my chain that's on the reel on here as well. You can either dangle and cut, or you can pull down all the way to the end and cut your chain, which is what I prefer because of how bad my eyesight is. Because I can't see when it's dangling, I prefer to do it that way, because then I can actually see what I'm doing. And now we've got 2 lengths of chain. So we've also got a topper, we've got 2 jump rings, and we've got the bead that we're going to put on the top. So this is everything that we've got. So let's wire up this bead. So we're going to put it on a ball head pin. We're going to bend it over the top of the pliers. We're going to use the first step of the bail making pliers. Up, over, turn the pliers and round. We're going to hold the loop. And we're going to use another pair of chain nose pliers. And we're going to go round to get a nice tight wrap. Now, as I'm sure many of you know from watching my videos, I don't usually use chain nose pliers for wrapping head pins. But, let's change from tradition and use a pair of chain nose pliers for once. It never hurts to change a bit, does it? And then tuck in that little end. There we go. So now we're going to get the 2 lengths of chain, and we're going to get the jump rings, one of which is already open. So I'm going to hook it on the last link of the chain. And then hook the bead on. And close it up. And then lie that one down with the other one. Now I'm going to open this jump ring up when I find the opening, which I'm sure is there. Yes, it is. I'm going to hook the last link of the chain on this one. And close this one. Hook the bead on and close this one up. There we go. So now I'm going to slide these down this long wire. I'm just going to hold my finger and put all 3 on at the same time. And then slide them through the loop. So all on the last link of the chain at the other end. And then slip them through the loop that I made here. So now I'm going to get my bent nose pliers, which should be a bit easier. Hold that loop, and I'm just going to do 1, maybe 2 right, I'm just doing like 1, maybe 2 wraps. There we go. That's going to be enough just to hold it before it goes in the cap, and then I'm going to cut the wire off. So now I'm going to put this up into this little bead cap I've got, and we've got a little tassel. So now I'm not going to use the bead cap I've got here. I'm just going to put, I'm going to use it on the top actually, because of the hole being so big. So there we go. We've got a tassel with a barrel bead and a bead cap on top. So now we're going to bend the wire over the top. We're going to use the larger loop. Actually, no, I'm going to use the smaller loop actually. Use the smaller loop, loop it through, and then I'm going to get the rose. I'm going to loop it through the rose. And then hold it with the chain nose and the bent nose pliers and wrap down towards the bead cap, making sure I keep the chains on the mats. Then I'm just going to cut the wire off. I've just done a chunky wrap to give it some substance, as you can see. So now we're going to connect all this to everything. So first things first, we're going to feed this jump ring through the last links of the chain. Which sometimes can be easier said than done, especially at a distance. Sometimes what you have to do with jump rings is feed them both on the same side, because there's burrs on jump rings when they get cut. So as you can see, it's now the jump rings now got them on both sides. Sorry if that was off camera, I do apologise. So now we've got it both on one side, and we're going to close the jump ring. It was giving me quite a bit of problem getting that on the jump ring. So now we've got that, we're going to get another jump ring. We're going to feed this feed the dangle onto there, and then attach it. Just give me a sec, close that previous jump ring a bit better. Now close this other jump ring on here. Now the clasp on this is an S clasp, which sometimes you have to pull these clasps out of it, depending on the type and depending on where you've got the clasps from. So you just have to manually adjust them. So the necklace. So the dangle at the bottom, beading to the necklace further up. But what I'll do is, give me a minute, I'll turn you up and I will show you the necklace on the bust. Hi friends, thank you for watching today. So let me show you the necklace we've just made. Oh, I think I'm gonna have to pull back a bit. So this is what we've just made. I hope you enjoyed watching the making of this. As you can see, it's an extremely long necklace, but extremely luxurious. So you've got the beading down the side with the bar across here and the chain leading down to the rose, which has flipped, and the chain dangles with the hematite beads on the bottom. But it's gorgeous, and of course you've got this beautiful ceramic bead here as well, and the bead cap. So this is the absolutely gorgeous necklace we've just made, and it's got absolutely gorgeous focal bead. So thank you very much for watching, and if you could like, comment, share and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you're notified when I release new videos, I will be so grateful, because it helps keep my little channel going and growing. So thank you so much for watching today, and I'll see you all again very soon in my next video. See you soon friends, bye.
I know you feel like you want me, and I guess in a way you do.